What is up, guys? Welcome back to Breakout Trading. It is Sunday night, actually Sunday afternoonish, and I thought I would make a hotkey video. That was one of the requests I had in one of my comments. The music in the background is lo-fi hip-hop. I don't really know anything about, copyright or whatever, so I don't know. This is what's playing. I'm pretty sure this is not copyrightable. Who knows? Maybe it is. Like 5 people watch this video anyway, so I don't really care. Anyways, we're going to get right into it. So, let's get rid of this and let's drop this down here. Okay, so let me know. Actually, I'm just going to turn this down slightly just so that it's not annoying. Alright, so hotkeys. So this is Trader Pro. It's a live market data subscription based platform. Obviously, you use it to day trade. It's not a brokerage account. You can't deposit money into this. You don't have an account on this for that's connected to your bank account. You have your separate brokerage account, and then you subscribe to this platform. This is what you use. If here normally when the market's open, this would be your level 2 time and sales. These are your positions, and it's used to execute trades and orders, not used to deposit and withdraw and have an account and stuff. So obviously when you're executing trades, you want to be quick, especially if you're doing a scalping strategy like the one I implement in my videos. I'm in and out sometimes in a couple seconds. Preferably you get in a winning trade that lasts a few minutes, but in general, if you aren't on the ball, if you aren't in and out very quickly, zero hesitation, then you're probably going to miss either your exit or miss your entry. So that is something that is very important that you have to be able to do. Okay, so I started day trading like 4 months ago, so I don't really know if these are like professional hotkeys or whatever, but these are the keys I use, and I'll just share them with you guys, and hopefully you can maybe come up with use something of this to your own benefit, or maybe you can just copy all these. They're right here. Hopefully you can see that. And hotkeys on Trader are kind of like code, so you kind of have to write like this little string of commands for it to do stuff. If you want to use all my hotkeys, they're right here for you. Alright, so how do we start this video off? So let's make myself a little bigger first off. There we go. So I also have this pulled up just so that it's a bit better of a visual. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so this is obviously a keyboard thing. So the number one thing that I want to say first off, based on hotkeys, is I was watching this SMB Capital video once, and they said never to use any function keys. There isn't any on this thing, but don't use your F1, F2 keys for anything, because those actually do stuff to your computer. You don't want to be in the middle of a trade, all of a sudden you're resetting your brightness or something. So all my hotkeys start with shift, because shift is very, like, I don't know, it doesn't do anything other than make something capital, or I don't know, maybe some other platform it does something. But by not using like control or alt, this is a no. Don't use alt, don't use Windows. These ones, you don't want to use these ones that can be used for stuff other than your trade execution, because you don't want that stuff popping up on your computer as you're trading, if that makes sense. So yeah, no F1 keys, don't use control or any of these ones. You can use spacebar if you want, but I also don't recommend that. Also, make sure you actually have something to push before, so don't just have like S for sell, because sometimes that'll mess it up if you're trying to type in like SAVA, for example, that ticker symbol, and you type in S, all of a sudden you sold the position while you're just trying to type in the ticker symbol. So don't do that either. Maybe stick away from enter as well. Just anything you have to use normally for just normal computer functions, stay away from. So that's why you can see here every single one of my hotkeys starts with shift. I've been doing this for about 2 months and I've had 0 issues, so it seems to be working. Take it with a grain of salt. So the way I've divided up my hotkeys here is I have hotkeys for trading, hotkeys for charts, and then a few other random ones. For example, the hotkey window, which is simply just Shift H, H for hotkey. So I'll start off with, I'll just go top down, honestly. So trade montage select. So I guess I can actually make this one. I have all my ones that say trade there in capitals. Okay, so what this does, trade montage select, is all this is, the command here is switch trading window is the abbreviation for that. And what I have to make that one work is this key right here. So that means that this is actually one of my only hotkeys that I don't have to click shift or anything before. I chose this one because it's easy, it's right in the corner, right below my escape key on my keyboard, and I literally never use this one for anything else, so I figured it would be a good one. So when I click that one, notice how this highlights the montage. So see, you can see me clicking it. I don't have a camera or anything, but no matter where I am in DAS, I know that if I'm like, oh my gosh, look at my scanner, Apple's popping up, I can just click this, enter in a ticker symbol, or I can click this, and usually if you're using hotkeys, you want your montage to be selected. So it's a lot easier to see when everything's going, like when the market's open. But when you're entering in a trade with a hotkey, you don't want to just start like doing it here because it can mess stuff up. You want to have your montage selected so that the software knows that you're talking to the trade execution montage, and then you can do your shift 1 or something for buy 25 shares, for example, is what my key is. Okay, so that was the first one, is trade. Okay, so now it's in there. There, that was the first one. So trade montage select. So that just selects the window. You can enter in a quick ticker symbol if you want. Bing bada boom, you're good. Okay, so now I renamed that one, we'll start from the new top, which is trade exit position. So on this one exits whatever position I'm in. And I'm usually always in a long position because since I've started, I've been a long biased trader. So all my hotkeys are basically just for longing stocks. I don't have any hotkeys for shorting as of yet. I'm planning on making some to short. So basically, here's the code for this one. The root is smart limit. My Interactive Brokers account has this thing called a smart limit order, where it finds the best route and the best exchange based on some parameters you have. I need to adjust those, but basically right now I think it's set to just the fastest fill, like whatever will fill me the fastest, whether that's NASDAQ, ARCA, Island, BATS, you name it, it'll find me the fastest route to fill my price. However, in the future I actually want to set it so that I get more ECN rebates, which I'll go into a little bit later here in this video. So this might be hard to see on YouTube, I'm not too sure. But anyways, so root is my smart limit. The price that I'm exiting my position at is 10 cents under the bid. So if you sell under the bid, it's basically a marketable limit order. That means that if you say the stock's trading at 375 and you sell at 365, it's going to automatically fill you at the next best price, which is probably going to be around 375. The reason I have it set like that is because sometimes, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes if you use a market order, you can get insane fills. Like maybe the stock just instantly drops the second you click this hotkey, which by the way is Shift Q. So you hold down Shift, and then as you're holding down Shift, you hit Q, and that will exit you out of your current long position, which will basically be instantaneous because it's a market order, which means it'll get filled on the bid. So the bid-ask spread, you'll get filled at the lower end, so meaning that you'll have a lower P&L. Say you're in a winning trade, your P&L will be smaller than it would be if you exited on the ask, which is slightly higher priced by a few cents. So yeah, so I'm exiting on the bid. Underneath the bid-ask spread, share size is position, and these are all separated by semicolons. When you, I don't know, this one here, where it's like, yeah, that one. So all these little commands are separated by those. That's probably too hard to see on YouTube. The time in force for this order is the day plus, and sell equals send. So what sell equals send does is that sends it instantly. It doesn't like enter it into the montage and then not do anything, and then you have to click sell. It just does it right away. The second you click Shift Q, your order will be sent and it will be filled instantaneously into the market. So that's trade exit position. And then what I did is for these three, so these are my exit positions. So this is to exit the full position. I'll go like 100% of my position. If I click Shift Q, I'm out right away 100%, and that's what you'll see me do in a few of my videos if I'm doing like a scalp and I just want out of the whole thing right away. Whereas sometimes what you can do too is this one is set up to sell 50% of my position. So say I want to sell half because I think it's going to continue upwards. Well, I can lock in half of my unrealized gains and then let the other half of the position ride. And again, this one is 10 cents under the bid. And then E is to sell 25%. So if I just want to take a little tier off, I really think the stock's going to keep going up, I can take little chunks off as I go up. So it's just some options there. Obviously, you could just sell half and then sell another half, and that would be 75% off or whatever. But it's nice to have. I like 100%, 50%, and 25% exit position. That's just what I like. You guys can do whatever you want. So the only difference between the exit full position code that I just showed you is everything's the same, except when you get to the share position place, you just put a little asterisk, I think that's what it's called, and 0.5. So obviously your full position here is going to be position, just nothing, full position, and then as you go, say 25, it's just position times 0.25 or position times 0.5 for the half exit. So that is exiting positions. This is one of the stock hotkeys that comes with Dash Trader. Close all positions and all orders must be canceled first, which is Shift Escape key. That closes all the positions you currently have opening. The reason this one's called panic is because, I don't know, say like someone crashes through your front door, or you hear a huge smash upstairs, or your house is gonna blow up or something, or your Wi-Fi is gonna cut out. You can just exit all your positions right away and before something happens, because obviously if you have like 10 positions open, you don't want to let those run without you being without you watching them. So that's that one. We already went over trade montage select. That's just so I can, whatever I'm doing, oh my gosh, look, let's see, this ticker symbol is pumping, hit this little squiggly key, and then boom, I can instantly enter in the ticker symbol, hit enter, and I'm on its chart in a matter of seconds. Trade cancel all open orders of symbol and montage. So Shift X, so this is one I use a lot. So I have two cancel order hotkeys, Shift X and Shift C. Obviously the reason those are there is because exit, or like X is, you exit something, you close it, and then C is cancel. So I just kind of remember those two are for canceling stuff, that's just me. Once again, whatever you want, wherever you want to, whatever letter you want to use for your cancellation, be my guest, but I just use these two. The difference between them is this one only will cancel orders, like this thing says, for all the symbol in the montage. So once again, this is the montage back here, and say I'm trading Microsoft and I have a sell order for Microsoft. If I click Shift X, it'll only cancel that sell order for Microsoft, whereas if I have a couple other open orders for other stocks, they'll maintain those, which is nice because obviously you don't want to cancel every single open order you have at once and then have to go back to those tickers and re-enter them all. That's pretty stupid. However, oops. Okay. However, this symbol does do that, cancel all open orders. So this one, Shift C, this will cancel everything, and this will only cancel the ticker symbol in montage. Yeah, and then the codes for these are just cancel all symbol, all of the orders for that symbol, and that is Shift X, and then cancel all open orders is cancel all is the code. So now we went over my sell position below the bid hotkeys and my cancellation hotkeys and my hotkey for you know, selecting the montage window. So now we'll go over my buy hotkeys. So these are them here, and these buy hotkeys are called a specific name. They're called trade. I always start off with my trading hotkeys with trade, just it makes it easier to look at when they're all jumbled together like this. Trade, buy 50 shares now. So that means I want to get filled right now. And in order to do that, there's two choices. You can either do a market order or you can do a marketable limit order that is executed above the bid-ask spread. So once again, I don't really love market orders for that reason I said before, where there can be some crazy dump or some crazy spike and you get filled like $1 above. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me with market orders. However, with this order here, so it's very similar to the exit position root smart limit. Price though is 5 cents above the ask. So I know that no matter what crazy fluctuation happens, when I execute this order by pushing shift 2, I will buy 50 shares 5 cents above the ask. So obviously I'll get filled at the best price, which is 5 cents below the ask, or which is 5 cents is at the ask. Oh god, that was, I butchered that. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, say this stock is trading at $7.98 by $7.99. When you use this hotkey, you will get filled at $7.99 or $7.98, in between that little bid and ask spread. But if it jumps $1, then the highest you'll ever get filled is only 5 cents above, as opposed to if you had a market order, you could get filled $1 above that price, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the thing. It's basically a market order with a little bit of a limit there, which is 5 cents. My shares are 50, time and force day, buy equals send. So this goes directly into my open orders. There's 4 of them here. So what they are is I have to hold shift. This shift 1 is to buy 25 shares above the ask, so that's an instant fill. Shift 2 is to buy 50 shares above the ask, instant fill. Shift 3 is 100 shares above the ask, instant fill. And shift 4 is 200 shares 5 cents above the ask with an instant fill. So now you can kind of see where my hand is placed on the keyboard. So I got my right hand is on the mouse and my left hand is kind of in this vicinity on the keyboard, kind of hanging off the side. So usually my thumb here is on shift, and then my other fingers can like access these ones, right? So I can hold thumb shift into a 25 right here, and then this is my exit position, so they're right below, so I can kind of exit in here or enter in here and then get out right away if I wanted, or I could scale in with 25 and then add another 50 and then sell half and then exit the whole thing. So it's kind of all in this little corner here. That's the way I set it up over a couple different setups, and that's the way I've learned to like it. And then once again, remember my cancel orders are down here. So yeah, that's how you buy. That's how I buy all my shares right away. They're all pretty much the same. It's just different share amounts. So all 5 cents above the ask. I have to, maybe I'll adjust that down or up. I haven't had any issues with it. Interactive Brokers is a great platform. I pretty much get filled right away at an incredible price, right at the bid-ask spread. Every time I use this hotkey, sometimes I get bad fills, but you know that's gonna happen if you're trying to get in right away. You know, there's always a price to pay for everything, and if you want the luxury of being able to get in at whenever you want, then you're probably gonna have to get a bad fill from one time to the other. So that's how I buy my shares above the ask. Once again, really simple. Shift H is just to bring up the hotkey window. That's an easy one. Okay, and then we'll go into these ones. So these are my ECN rebate hotkeys. So the hotkeys I just went over are all accessed on this side of the screen, and my ECN rebate hotkeys are all on this side of the number line or the keyboard or whatever you want to call it, and they're the complete mirror of these ones to make it very simple. So remember, this one was for positions, and this one was for shares. Well, this one's also for shares, these ones, and these ones are also for positions. So the difference between these ones and these ones is these are all instantaneous. These are all marketable limit orders, whereas these ones are, say I want to enter in a position, it's below the bid, and say I want to exit a position, it's above the ask. So let me just go into these keys here, delete all this. So yeah, we already went over all these. Now ECN rebate by 50 shares. So the reason it's called ECN rebate is because when you're trading, you can either take liquidity from the market or you can give liquidity to the market. And that means that if you're using market orders only, you're always taking liquidity. You want to be the first one to in line, basically. Whereas if you say the stock's trading at $2 and you set a sell order for $2.05 and you let the price come up to your sell order, that is providing liquidity to the market. So what can happen sometimes is, depending on the exchange you route your order through, is you can get a rebate on your commissions. So instead of paying 50 cents for a trade, you can actually gain, like make 50 cents by selling above the ask or buying below the bid, as opposed to buying below the bid or selling, no, sorry, as opposed to selling below the bid or buying above the ask, if that makes sense. So all my ECN rebate ones are set up the same, 200, 100, 25, 50, just like the now ones, except the only difference with these is the price is 2 cents below the bid. So obviously, if the stock is trading at $2 by $2.01, and I place an order for $1.98, 2 cents below the bid, I'm not going to get filled right away. So that's the trade-off, is you can either get filled right away with the entry now hotkeys, or these ones, you might miss out. It might rip up to 250 without you and leave you in the dust, or it might dip down for a second, hit 198, and then you get a really good fill, like right on the cheaper side of this bid-ask spread. And you could possibly get an ECN rebate. Now I need to talk to interactive brokers because I've set these keys up and I've been trying to buy on the bid and sell on the ask, and I've done it multiple times, and I kept checking my brokerage statements and I haven't gotten any rebates yet. So I need to ask them what's up. Maybe I need to adjust that smart limit route that I was talking about earlier in this video to prefer the exchanges with rebates as opposed to prefer the best fill. So I need to look into that more. I have a note in my phone to look into that, and I'll let you guys know if I start getting rebates, because then technically you'd pay $0 in commissions. You'd actually have negative commissions, which would make you money to trade, which is pretty cool. So yeah, price 2 cents below the bid. This one, shift 9. The second one in is for 50 shares. Same with this one. Remember, 25, 50, 100, 200. Same thing here, 25, 50, 100, 200, except these ones are not instantaneous, whereas these ones are. And these are all for long positions. I'm always buying stock. That's what these keys are for. So yeah, that's 50, 25, 100. And then the exact same thing right here. So these were all to exit my position right away, whereas these ones are to exit the position above the ask. So say I go shift P, I want to get out of my position, but I'm okay because I feel like the stock's going to keep moving up. I'm okay to wait and let it push me up. I'll get a slightly better fill price, meaning I'm not just panicking out on the bid and getting missing out on a couple cents. I'll get a better fill price, which means the position will make more money upon exit, and I could get an ECN rebate once I get that figured out. So we'll get that up there. So ECN rebate, trade, exit position. Shift P is the hotkey. Route, smart limit, price, ask. So I'm selling 1 cent above the ask for these ones, as opposed to, what was the other ones? Exit position, as opposed to 10 cents below the bid. So the difference is 1 cent above the ask is I pretty much want out right away, but I'm willing to wait that extra 1 cent to get out. Whereas if I want to exit my position below the bid, I want out right now. This thing is going to dump. I want out, I want out, I want out. So even if it's kind of starting to dump as I'm pressing this key, hopefully it doesn't dump 10 cents and I will be able to get out in time. Yep, so that's that one. I'm selling above the ask for these ones. Share full position, time and force day, sell equals send. Trade, and this is just exit half my position and exit 25 of my position, just like before. Okay, so now we have gone over almost all my hotkeys, all my trading hotkeys. So we've gone over all my buy right now share hotkeys, all my sell right now share hotkeys, my cancellation hotkeys, my montage window select, all my buy below the bid share hotkeys, and all my sell above the ask exit position hotkeys. So now there's just a few more. We already went over Shift H, and remember I'm holding Shift before any of these for the hotkey window. And now there's just a couple more to go over, and these are for the chart. So Shift Z is show/hide chart toolbar. So what that does is if I go over to this watch list screen here, notice how it's like really clean, right? You know, LGHL, it doesn't really say much. Whereas if I click Shift Z, this toolbar can come up here, and that's for all of them. So you know, I can bring it up for all of them, or I can get rid of all of them, just like that. So it makes it really quick and easy to adjust these things. So say I want this to be for Sava, there, that's the chart I want, and then I can just get rid of that toolbar. Say I want to make it a 1 minute chart or a 5 minute. I always have these on 5 minute, but say I want to adjust it. I want to zoom in, zoom out. Okay, that's the way I like it. Boom, Shift Z. That will stay the way it is. And then that way your watch list screen looks really neat and tidy for when you're trading. Okay. Chart trend line. So this one is extremely useful. Shift S. So say I'm, you know, in the chart here. I'm on Apple. This was Friday, and I just want to simply draw a trend line. Just hold Shift S, and now I can just draw a bit of a trend line there. That's it. It just makes it really easy because, and you see this is Shift Z. You can see the toolbar here coming up and down. Shift S, you know, I can keep drawing trend lines. And then say I want to get rid of them all. I don't really have a key for that yet, but whatever. So yeah, that's it. And then chart horizontal line is Shift A. So this one I can just hold Shift A and it will make the little pen go to a horizontal line for my support and resistance. I prefer using these more so over trend lines, but I still use both. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. And then last but not least, we have chart Fibonacci line, which is Shift D. So I can go here, I can do a Fibonacci retracement from the high of the day down here or whatever, and it just makes it a lot easier than going up here, clicking Fibonacci line and then doing it. It's just a lot faster to just have that ability to just do these things quickly. It'll save you a lot of time if you have these hotkeys set up for those. Those are the only three that I have to set up the chart. All the zooming in and stuff I kind of just do manually. That one I don't really find being a big issue, but the number one thing is this horizontal line. I use these all the time, and being able to just bust them out really quickly saves you time. So that's SA and D, so that's right here. So now you have all my hotkeys set up. So remember, Shift is the master key. This is the one that triggers everything. Then you have your cancel keys, your trend line keys, your exit position keys, and your entry keys. And these are the main ones that I use here. And once again, my thumb is over on Shift, and my pointer finger, middle finger, and then other fingers are kind of on my keyboard like that as I trade. And then on this side, once again, we have the exit my position on the ask, above the ask, my entry below the bid for long, and that's it. that is it, guys. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Hopefully you can look at some of these, get some ideas, maybe get different ideas about hand placements. Yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Pretty simple hotkey video. I will make actually probably an update video to this if I really figure out the ECN rebates on interactive brokers, because that's something that I want to get set up. Obviously getting paid to trade would be pretty sweet. Let me know if you think these suck or if you have any improvements or what you use for hotkeys. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it. I'll see you tomorrow morning for our Monday morning trade live footage recap. Adios.